What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, guys, happy Friday to y'all. Let's start the news cycle off early. I already dropped the Jamie Newman draft profile video. If you guys haven't saw that draft profile video, I'll link it at the end of this, and I'll put it in the description as well. Check it out for me, guys. All right, y'all. Today's topic, you can tell from the thumbnail, guys, and the title. We're going to talk about Darius Slay. So, Darius Slay, this is a guy I warned you guys that this was a possibility. That, if you looked at where the Eagles' money was structured. Like I said, guys, this isn't that hard to do if you know what to look for. You just need to know what to look for to make these predictions. If you looked at the salary cap schedule, you can look and see the guys that were making the most in their base salaries and pretty much get an idea of the guys that might pretty much start to restructure these contracts. So to begin with, when you restructure, you need to have a pretty large base salary in order to restructure it. What we have to keep in mind about restructuring a contract is you're not really taking away any money from the player. You might be removing immediate money. So, like, they may not get that whole total figure they were going to get this season. But in terms of the guarantees and all those things, guys, those stay the same. You're just deferring it to a different date. So, if you trade it, if you cut it, they're still going to get their money. Whether it's from the team trading for the contract, just depends on the structure of the guaranteed money. Some guaranteed money can be traded. Other stuff can. If you prorated something, the Eagles have to eat that, like your signing bonus. But obviously, you can trade out option stuff, like if you're on this roster stuff. Like if you're on the roster at this time, you get this kind of money that can be traded to another team. But when it comes, generally speaking, to restructuring, you're just taking the base salary and you're converting that into some kind of bonus money, right? It's a way of basically kicking the can down the road. Let's be honest, man. I know you guys don't like that concept. I know you guys hate hearing that just because of the way it's worked itself out over the last 3 years. But given our current circumstance, I don't really know that we have too much of else of a choice, guys. I mean, you have to get down below that number somehow, because you got to keep in mind, come March 17th, we must be cap compliant in order to execute contracts, in order to sign guys, in order to negotiate with our own guys and finalize those contracts that we've made, and order to trade guys like Carson Wentz, or trading for another player if we get a player back, trading Zach Ertz. Like, you have to be cap compliant before you can execute any of those things, guys. So what did Darius Slay do? Simple, guys. Basically what he did, he had a $12 million base salary for 2021. He took that $12 million, he took $9 million of that $12 million, and he converted it into something else, okay? I don't know, guys. I have no clue what it's being converted into. Sometimes they do like these per game roster bonus things to where, like, if you play all 16 games the following season, then they divide this up and you get X amount of dollars, like, over that distance of time. Like, it's stuff like that. Normally, I think that's pretty much what they did with Fletcher Cox, guys. So I'm assuming they did something similar to that. For Darius Slay, there was no concern with this one, right? He's got no guaranteed money past this year, but all $12 million of his base salary for 2021 is guaranteed. So it doesn't matter to him if you cut him, you trade him. He's still banking $12 million, guys. So for him, maybe he doesn't get it in 2021. Maybe he's got to wait till 2022 or 2023 to get that actualization of the contract he signed, that $12 million that are still kind of remaining on his deal that must still be paid out, plus the money left over from a signing bonus, the prorated stuff. But he knows he's going to get it eventually, so for him, it's really no big deal. Do I like the structure of this? Like, I mean, I don't know what other option you had. Like, I don't really think it's a matter of do you like it or not, guys. Like, what choice do you have? In terms of the roster construction, I'll say this. We're better with Darius Slay on the roster than with him off. I can tell you that, guys. We don't have a lot of depth, and we don't have a lot of talent in the cornerback room. This is something that's going to help tremendously, right? Let me state some facts too, guys. We have to wait for I'm going to make a video about this, but we have to wait till the TV contract. If the TV contract for the NFL, not just ESPN, the entire TV contract, gets executed and finalized by March 17th before it, then that'll actually factor into our salary cap. So the salary cap can increase, and increase greatly, which would help the Eagles out a long way. So getting guys to rework $9 million of their contract might mean by the time the TV deal is reached, if it gets reached in time, that's the exclamation point. It has to be reached in time to impact the salary cap for this season. If it's reached in time and you get guys like, now you got, like, your Derek Barnett, you got your Derek Barnett to me is an extension guy, not a restructure, but you got your Derek Barnett, then you got your restructure guys like you got, Brandon Brooks, Fletcher Cox, Lane Johnson, Brandon Graham. All those dudes are really guys that you could restructure contracts or renegotiate, if you will, like restructure, renegotiate it. So if you look at those things, you look at the fact that the salary cap could potentially still go up if the TV deal gets struck in time. The Eagles might not be as cash strapped as people are thinking, guys. It's still, don't get me wrong, it's still hurtful and definitely got guys that are going to pay a toll because of this, but the overall impact of it may not be quite as big as people thought. There might actually be some money left over in the cupboards to not only sign your draft picks, but to get a couple of low-key kind of guys out of free agency. I'm not talking about big spenders, guys. We're not going to be that, but we might be able to go out there and fill out some depth stuff. So that's what I got for you for the Darius Slay situation, guys. Like, hey, you got at least one corner, one side done. I still think that the Eagles need to do something, man. They either need to figure out something in free agency to get an affordable vet in here that can play some meaningful minutes for the Eagles. And I still would address it, because you're still talking about older guys. So I still would address it in the draft too, guys. I think you need to come out of this draft with 1 to 2 corners. The next 2 to 3 years, to me, these drafts have to be about the defense, guys. Primarily need to be about the defense because the defense needs a youth movement here. So that's my interpretation of the things I see kind of going on right now with kind of this contract situation in the Philadelphia Eagles, guys. But we'll see how it all plays out in the end. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And like I said, Jamie Newman video has already been dropped. I'm going to have another video tonight where I'm going to make some predictions about what I think they might do with Brandon Graham's contract. Guys, I have no clue. I'm just using guidance from other contracts to make some pretty educated guesses on it. But ultimately, I could be off by a mile because the one thing you're going to learn is trying to predict the length of an extension can be tricky business. So, all right, guys, without anything else really to add to this, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next video.